Hello and welcome back to another mediocre whitetail podcast. My name is Gage Kopic and I'm with my co-host.
Brave Smart.
And we got a guest today. We got good old Joe Ramsey in the house with Empowered Dream Hunts. How are you doing?
It's a great night.
It is indeed a great night. So we're going to start off with just saying thank you to our partners. Yellowstone AI trail cameras. They're lifetime warranty, made in Wisconsin, and extremely dependable. Go get yours at YellowstoneAI.com. And then our other partner, Nested Tree Stand System. Nested Tree Stand System is also out of Wisconsin. Light, easily carried, breaks down into a backpack, and super easy to get up and down in the trees. Go get yours at NestedTreeStand.com. And don't forget to use code MEDI10. That's MEDI10 for 10% off. All right, Joe. So to get our viewers viewers and listeners kind of in tune with you, we like to just ask a couple basic get to know you questions. So I guess first one that we like to ask is, what got you into the hunting world? What kind of drove you to want to be somewhere that was involved in hunting?
I look back like a lot of young individuals that their fathers get them into the woods.
Yep.
There's a lot of reads that you can go back to. My story was in Merrill, Wisconsin. It's kind of like a little friction with Dad saying I know how to hunt, and I had my little stalker bow, no sight.
Yep.
And I was gonna kind of like instinctively shoot, and had a lot of learning curves, So did try a little bit with the recurve and try to challenge myself. But that was the inspiration that led actually into college.
Yeah.
And the backstory, a little bit of Joe Ramsey with wrestling is, had a gentleman take me out in the woods. Him and I battled a little bit. He was from Rapids, and they're like, "Joe, you should get a sight put on your bow." And so that opportunity presented itself, and that's the story. And still chasing.
Yep.
Chasing after that whitetail. And more than that is trying to help somebody else chase the deer.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And then another question that we usually kind of roll right in with that is, what's your top notch number one story? It doesn't have to be one that you killed an animal on. It's just that one hunt that you went out and it will forever stick with you in the back of your head.
Just planning to get out, and you're just informing us about game cameras. And I was going to check my game camera. Actually, that day I wasn't even going to go into the woods, but I figured, well, I might as well take my bow. And feeling under the weather, so it was about 4:30 in the afternoon. I said, well, I might as well. I got about a half hour, 40 minutes, so I kind of ventured out there, grabbed my bow, and as I'm getting through the woods, I could see my stand, I could see the game camera, and I could hear a buck grunting. And I knocked an arrow, and just surreal story. The buck never knew what was there, and I was there, and I was able to get a real clean shot and take a deer off the ground, not even getting to the stand. So I have no idea if that even happened. Actually, I called my wife and I said, "Hey, I just hit a really nice buck." She goes, "Well, make sure you know where it is." And I go, "Yeah, I know where it is."
That's
Right.
sweet. That is sweet. You got any kind of get to know you questions you got in mind, or?
Yeah, so you had mentioned the wrestling. I know you got a pretty cool jacket. You were part of Team Foxcatcher's history there, movie about it, documentary about it. Maybe go a little bit into that.
Fitting for this time of the year. They had the Vegas tournament. Athletes are, for the men and freestyle, Greco, and women freestyle, trying to make that covenant world team right now. And that kind of that circle of the world of wrestling, once you finish with the Vegas tournament, then you have to go through the battle of 2 out of 3 and make the world team. Ironically, the Foxcatcher startup was another icon wrestler, Greco-Roman wrestler, Dennis Hall, and he's like, "Joe, you should maybe cut weight and go down to Vegas and wrestle in a tournament, or go to Arizona." And I was in a tournament and had no idea I was wrestling a Foxcatcher athlete. Also, the fact that gentleman by the name of Dave Schultz with Foxcatcher, and that's a lot of the story is
Yeah.
about Dave. And Dave at that time didn't know who he was. He slapped me in the back of the head and said, I got spladled. I was winning with by 5-0, 8 to 10 seconds, and I didn't need to shoot.
Yep.
And after that tournament, got a phone call, flew out to Vegas, flew out to the Olympic Training Center, and then while on some tours, Foxcatcher athletes thought it would be a good idea for me to come out and train. And that story inside itself, I'm not in a documentary, but I've got a lot of pictures, been there, left prior to the big incident.
Yep.
Yeah. What was I guess getting informed that you were gonna go onto a team like that? What was that like for you? Like,
I was like, what is the reason? And they felt that I would be a great workout partner, or a gentleman by the name of Ed Geezy. And talking about, when we're talking about whitetails, a lot of hunting going on that estate out there, and never had that opportunity.
Yeah.
They had a dairy farm out there. They had a horse farm.
Yeah, they had just about everything you can imagine.
Yeah, in that documentary, it took me a while to revisit that. But there was a young lady out of Stratford, Wisconsin. She told me, you should take your memorabilia and make a little shadow box, and so that happened.
So I guess I got a question with that is, did you find any ties from how driven you were for wrestling? Did you find any way that you put that towards what you're doing now with Empowered Dream Hunts?
I think just knowing characters or gifts that people have, it's transitioning and finding inspiration. So the answer is yes. But also knowing when to let go of one thing and go in another direction, but also give the energy. And a lot of that's, as a good coach, you let your athlete pull you. And sometimes you gotta critique some, motivation for that athlete. But from the standpoint of Empowered Dream Hunts, is there's some coaching, but the inspiration is watching the hunt unfold.
Yep.
Kind of like when we all would come back and tell the story about, hey, I saw this in the woods,
Yep.
or we're trying to provide that opportunity for our hunters, along with everybody that's involved. And this year, getting ready, obviously, we've got some unique storylines that could unfold. We have hunters,
Mhm.
but you won't know that until that hunt is done, because
Yep.
that's what I tell people. Until the hunt's done, I can't tell you what's going to happen. I can tell you what we're going to plan to do. I can tell it's kind of like putting cameras out, scouting.
Yep.
I can tell you I'm going to be in the stand, and that's what we're trying to do with these hunters. And it's very ironic is that you as a hunter understand, as you're a bow hunter, you want to hunt the rut.
Oh yeah.
And we want to give them that feeling and understanding of, and we do hunt on some ranches. We provide these opportunities for some of these individuals, and some just want to go harvest a doe, a fair chase. Some want that experience. So
Yeah.
waiting for the hunt to unfold.
hmm So I guess moving forward, do you just want to tell us kind of what Empowered Dream Hunts is? How you guys started out, kind of like a basis of what you guys do?
Starting out, if you we go back to 05, 06, Winneconne, Wisconsin, Berlin, Wisconsin, in that area, predominantly Winneconne. I was a head wrestling coach at Winneconne High School. Had a young kid in the room that had cerebral palsy. Had some coaches in the room that went to UW Oshkosh, and it's kind of fitting with your backdrop with
Yep.
UW Oshkosh. And I just asked Mike Farcione and Jeff Baker if they could assist me. Um, And I was already in the woods with a young kid. He had cerebral palsy and hunting on his property and trying to help him fulfill his dream. But it just wasn't happening. Foster dad had a game farm at the time in Merrill, hunted a farm up in near Tomahawk, Irma area.
Yep.
And this young kid, he was able to harvest harvest a nice whitetail. um, Later on, we went to badger mining during the 9-day disabled hunt where you can hunt.
Hmm.
But getting back, the inspiration of Empowered Dream Hunts was driven, unfortunately, by a loss of Mike Farcione. He was coming back from Madison Adaptive PE convention, and he ended up somehow there was some fog. Nobody knows unless you're there, and his car hit a train.
Yep.
Pretty devastating. Got a call about 1 in the morning. And Kyle felt we should do one for coach, and one for coach was way back. You're looking at 2007. Now here we are getting ready for 2026.
Yep. Yep.
And so with that, once you move back here, you still have to have a place to hunt. And so our nonprofit, if you go to empowereddreamhuntsinc.org, that's our website, or Empowered Dream Hunts Facebook page. But on our website itself, there's a criteria, and we want to kind of follow some of the guidelines that the DNR has.
Yep.
DNR is the 9-day disabled hunt. They have a permanent application, which in October they have some learn to hunt, and then they also have the 9-day disabled hunt. But we have some criteria. I know there's some different things that age is scratches. We're going to be when we go through that process. We have sometimes we have to draw if we got too many applicants. Sometimes people come back the following year, but we'd like some people to do or try some things prior to coming with us if they are able. But a lot of that information is on there on that website. Um, Last year we had a hunter; he did not harvest a deer.
Yep.
And I can get into that a little bit later. So that gentleman's going to be coming back. He's with law enforcement. I have a young kid. We're going to find out if he can go and give up some of his football activities because he's in 6th grade. He's had some challenges in his life and his family. I have the young kid with cancer, battling some things and constantly going back to St. Jude's. And then we have the unknown soldier veteran that will be helping through disabled American veterans.
Hmm. So Empowered Dream Hunts is a way that you guys give back to the hunting community and take those out who might not otherwise have the chance to go out into the woods.
Yeah, it'd be nice to take as many as we can.
Yeah.
But everything's driven because funding is has a
Yep.
lot to do with it. We try to do one fair chase, a couple turkey hunts. Try to give people information for the 9-day disabled hunt or youth hunt. Give people information if they have their own land.
Yeah.
Try to encourage them to get around other individuals, find some mentors. Just like a lot of us done, knocking on doors and asking for help. But just try to get people to be a little proactive. And those that are coming with us, we try to do 3 or 4, if adventures out. It's even though it's a hunt, it's not about the deer.
Yeah.
It's about watching the family and interaction unfold if all those parties are there.
Yeah. It's about creating them memories with everybody that's around. Yeah. That stuff's it's super, super awesome. I just remember when we would come over to your shed to practice, and you always had the Empowered Dream Hunts trailer out front. We're like, oh, that's pretty slick. And then we came to the banquet once or twice, and to see the people who end up winning the hunts and they get to go up and kind of receive the hunt, it's a tearjerker. It gets you feeling, and inside you're like, wow, that's amazing. That's super cool. So that's just awesome stuff that you guys do. I know you were saying you were just out in Green Bay for a DAV convention.
Yeah.
What is that?
So, and I'm like I said, I'm constantly learning. This is something that we put on our plate that might be a little bit more. The behind the scenes is my wife. She does. If anybody knows about nonprofits, she's a full-time nurse. Constantly is out there working outside the home, doing a lot of these things, but she's the backbone of knowing how to take care of the 501(c)(3), take care of our raffle licensing, and put things in perspective. We have a huge support out there in I-39 Supply. They do an event Friday before gun season, deer hunting camp. We get up at 3:30 in the morning and drive all the way to Portage. Um, but with the disabled American veterans, it's been something going forward. So this year, that's kind of our campaign, is to share about disabled American veterans. I know there's groups out there. The big groups are the American Legion, the VFW. There's AMVET. But uh, there's a lot of disabled American veterans. Sometimes you don't see just because they're missing a limb or in a wheelchair. There's a lot of things going on with combat and a lot of things going. So. We ended up
TBI.
friending some individuals, and they said, "Hey, why don't you come down to our state convention?" So there's multiple chapters, and so we were down there sharing. One of the things, we have a big event in August, a golf outing. We partnered with the chapter 29 and 31. 29 is kind of the northwestern area, Metford going that direction, Abbotsford, and then the other chapter is 29 up the Merrill area, going up towards Tomahawk.
Hmm.
And we're listening to them and what they provide and what they encouraged us with. And a lot of them want to all go,
Yeah.
but we're kind of just waiting until they take the lead. I said, "Don't talk to me. You guys will be
Yeah.
picked by, and just if anybody's out there and wanting to do that, you have to go on our website, you have to apply, and you have to put your chapter and that you're a DAV member."
Yeah. You got
That's-
you got anything? Because I know you're pretty in tune with veterans. So I guess pick his brain. Get after Joe here.
And after Joe, no, I mean, I like the direction, how you said you're trying to focus more heavily on uh disabled veterans this year. Um,
Did I flip the switch? Do you have anybody in your family who is a veteran?
yeah, so I got a cousin that went over and was in Iraq, and then I got an uncle. My uncle George, he got ambushed, and he's in a Humvee. He's a like turret gunner, and then the IED went off literally on his truck, and then it had flipped, and then he's gonna walk with a cane, and then he's got some psychological issues that he's got to deal with. So I just think that's really cool what you're doing, and I think there's not as much advocacy for them as we'd like. A lot of people are pretty anti-war in the country, and it's just great seeing that there's people out there who are helping these veterans out when they don't get the help that I feel like they
They
should
deserve.
be. I mean, given. So
Well, and just a little situation today. We asked a gentleman if he could. Well, actually, let's back it up. My son Leo, he's got L&D's All American Scrap, and he's supporting veterans. And somebody had some sign, and he put it on Marketplace. So the gentleman that buys the sign is a veteran. And then the property we're working on, gentleman's dad is 3 Purple Hearts, Vietnam era.
Hmm.
And a gentleman helping us supports veterans because there's only so much. We kind of joke he's the boss and I'm the only employee, and so I appreciate when other people come in, and so the project and what we've been giving is that funding that's going to go with some of this scrapping, and these loads are going to go to the DAV project, and another gentleman that's going to come in and help us. He was in the service,
Yeah.
and watching maybe me guiding, if you can see that, like there's some stories out there, movies like The Invisible Man, is taking somebody's hand, grabbing somebody else's hand, and watching these veterans work together and support. So when they hear a fellow veteran's going on a hunt, how can I help? Could I do anything? I said, can you come and hang out?
Yeah.
Can you come and have a beverage, have some food with them? And so we've done that the last 3 years, and it's been very moving for the support and having somebody else there.
Yeah.
I mean, just think when you guys are out hunting and you're all by yourself and nobody's there to
It's not.
watch it.
It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
But when you got the fellas around and you're hanging out and you get done and you get to your cabin and you're like,
What'd you get?
"Hey, I saw this. What'd you see? What'd
Yeah.
you see?"
Yeah, so it's and I got to give a shout out to Chase Outdoors. We go and they show a lot of support to us, and a good friend of ours, Andy Ludwig, um, he's got, and that'll be something down the road. But he had a fellow veteran that we worked together, and they've got an organization in memory of his close friend. At some time, I'd like to get him on and share that story, but I've asked him about DDT 14s, going through applications and helping.
Yep.
And legitimately, people will ask me, "Did you serve?" And the joke is, I'm like the silent soldier and go to veteran cup of coffee. Did not serve. The closest was working at Rawhide. I learned how to march. I learned how to shine boots.
Yep.
I learned from fellow veterans, and we actually helped one of my fellow coworkers. He was in the Marines. His son went on one of our dream hunts.
Hmm.
So
That's cool.
and we never know. That's the fun of people think we know what's going on, and I'll tell them we ended up helping like the Weiland families through their tragedy, and through that encouragement, my son's going into that field now, and he goes, "Dad, I might not have enough time to hunt with you. You might have to hunt by yourself this year." So
But props to him for wanting to do that.
Yeah.
After knowing the risks of law enforcement and what they have to deal with every day. That's another community that isn't as respected as it should be.
Yeah.
How many interactions are good that
Go unnoticed.
go unnoticed every day, and then all you see is a negative on the news.
And there were some things going on in a facility up north where a correction officer was his life was taken. And I don't need to go into that, but we're doing a memorial hunt in memory of him
Hmm.
and that officer. More of my backstory is I grew up in Milwaukee. I was the young kid traveling around, borrowing things. I say, if you borrow something, you should always bring it back. Ended up in Lincoln Hills by the age of 12, taken into it, by a dairy farmer in Merrill, Wisconsin. But we're able, how many decades later, from 82 to last year in 2025, we're helping an injured police officer from Milwaukee County. And he didn't get his deer last year. He's coming back. A lot of lightning going on in September last year. He thought he got closer to getting hit by lightning and getting a deer. But he's coming back in. He told my son he's got to make another cheesecake because the cheesecake didn't work. And Leo thinks the cheesecake is what does it, or a guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's paying those tributes to those different individuals in those different fields that do keep us safe and protect us.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and so now you've got a couple other things out here on the table here. What are you doing this summer to kind of help raise some funding or just awareness of what you guys are doing? Kind of just tell the viewers what it is that this stuff is going forward in the summer.
So getting back to the golf outing, there's several outings that are going on. We normally do a banquet, but a banquet takes a lot of undertaking. So
Yep.
if you have, say, a wife, myself, and 3 other people, that's not a lot of people to run a bank. But we did some good jobs, and we appreciate people that helped us. But our golf outing, August 8th, there's an event going on. I'm facilitating one the end of August, and you can find that out at Hog Creek. But the one we're doing for the vets and the DAV and partner with Empowered Dream Hunts is August 8th. Like I said, go to our Facebook page. There's more information. There's only 27 teams of 2. We already have 8 teams signed up. If you want to sponsor holes, let us know. 100% of that money is going to go to a DAV member recipient. We're also doing a cash raffle. We're doing $10 or 3 for $20. You want to get raffle tickets? Raffle tickets, we can't mail them to you, but if you want, we'll be out and about, or get a hold of me. I'll be doing some sitting and meet and greets and selling those tickets. That funding will go to the event. Trying to put together a cribbage outing.
Oh,
Fun.
Yeah, so the spot that we're looking at putting an event out is Empty Nest Winery over by Millador. I'm working with a classmate, and we talk about relationships.
Yeah.
I know you guys, from the wrestling world. My friend over there, Rocky Boulder over there, and his wife and family. I said, hey, let's try to do something in your area. Bring some cribbage boards, have some beverages, some snacks, and try to fundraise over there. And then we'll have something in July over at Chase Outdoors. Um, that'll be going on. Then we have an event I'll be in the 4th of July parade, have a booth going on. And then August, that'll be this outing. October, we're helping a Whitetails banquet. Instead of us running it, we're helping it. And then November is huge with deer camp, the Friday before gun season
Yep.
down in Portage. So those are the things we're doing besides just getting our regular donations that
Yep.
we have. But that's, you look at the fundraising, the most important thing is actually I just called one of the hunters. Hey, how you doing? His name is Andy. Is Bob and you ready? I'm gonna keep bugging you up until camp. Uh, so I will do that. I ran into a family member of another a hunter that we're gonna be helping.
Hmm.
Uh, and like I said, the only hunter that we don't know um, will be that veteran. And if you know about the poker world, we might even be sitting at Gorski's. I will not be doing polka, but I'll sit there and watch you. But we'll do a 50-50 and try to raise some money. If you want to do your own fundraisers, uh, we're not objective of that, and you can help us. But on our Facebook page, one of the other fundraisers is you can go to Alter Scrap and put EMP 093, say it's for Empowered Dream Hunts, that funding will go in, and there's Alter scrap recycling all over the state of Wisconsin that you can make donations if you want to give to Empowered Dream Hunt.
Very cool. Very cool. Um, so when people go out to your website there, you have all of these places, all these links on there for them to go and find how to donate and help out there.
If you go on a website and you pull up, I can kind of walk you through. But yeah, if you go on Empowered Dream Hunts, it'll say on there how to help, and just go on the website. If you want to get a hold of me,
Hmm.
that opportunity's there. You can get a hold of me um, uh, by 715-693-3322, or message me on Empowered Dream Hunts
Yeah.
Facebook page. But everything's on that website, and we have to give credit to the behind the scenes of a family that helps us, former hunter that we had, and that family's been helping us. And if you ever go past Hog Creek, you can see um, a big sign. It was an Eagle Scout project, and that young man,
Yep.
yeah, he had an epic turkey hunt with us.
Did he?
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. And like I said, we've got a lot of other individuals out there that are helping, like Rest Outdoors. They were helping us today.
Yep.
So a lot of cool things.
Did you guys get anybody out on turkeys this spring?
I took several youth, and actually took a young man by the name of Manny Drexler.
Oh, really?
I had him out. Had another gentleman out, Mitch. I had him out. We had turkeys. Mitch was in his truck, and we had turkeys come on the opposite side of the truck. And when you're trying to move a big ram, it's difficult. Uh, but I had Manny out there, and he was sitting on a drive shaft in this guy's woods. He was like American Picker Woods. I was sitting in the back of a 1940 some truck, and I had some pictures. I posted some pictures on my personal website, and yeah, Manny, we're sitting there in the woods, and all of a sudden they're gobbling. Two toms drifted to the right, and I kept working this one and come running right in. And Manny's like, "What do I do?" And I said, and plus he had my gun. Let him use my gun. Now the thing is you should be able to. I had my gun, and I tried to do the red dot,
Yep.
and everybody's telling me it was me. Well, I missed two birds, and then I had a bird destroy my decoy and couldn't get on it because of the sun. I took that red dot off and went old school back to the bead, and I was able to harvest one of many.
Yep.
You ever been in my basement? I've harvested a couple, but watching Manny shoot his bird, watching Drake Carlson shoot his bird, watching a duck hunter miss 3 times. So pretty epic, but next year we'll get after it. Little story with Mosinee. We'll be taking a young man. It'll be our 5th year. He's not harvested a turkey yet,
Really?
but he's been very close. So I will stick with him
Yeah.
until he gets his bird.
Yep.
And then you guys might be on the hunt with us next
Hey,
year.
I'm
That would be
I love getting after birds, and so I started doing a whole lot of calling for other people now. I like getting out there and trying to see. I want to see other people get that excitement of getting their first spring turkey, or even if it's their 3rd one or 5th one, whatever. It's still super cool to be on that trip with somebody else. So yeah, we would be gung ho coming in to help with something like that. That would be a ton of fun.
And the dad's a art teacher at the elementary, and people always worry that I'm discouraged. I don't get discouraged. To me, I said these experiences with your son, watching him legitimately just go through the process and learning,
Yep.
is more important than just getting a bird and you being done.
Yep.
So he's hanging there. We had birds like maybe 2 paces from the blind,
Yeah.
but it didn't happen. But we're getting closer. He thinks he's becoming a great shot, so that's why they're not coming close to him.
That's
Well,
great.
and I mean, if you're sitting there chasing for 5 years, that thing is, when you finally get it, it's going to be like, woo,
Yeah.
in there.
I think it'd be great to have maybe a couple of these people come out onto our podcast too and let them describe their experience,
Yeah.
from their end, and then working with you. I think that'd be great.
Well, and that was something that I was kind of thinking, is if we could come out during one of the camps this fall during the hunting season,
Well, it's going to happen.
I would love to bring the gear out after somebody puts smack down on an absolute unit, and just to have them tell the story, tell their experience. That would be so much fun. It'd be so cool just to be a part of it, be in the area of something like that. I don't think words are able to describe what that feeling would be like.
So have you turkey hunted or deer hunted?
Yeah, I've done a good amount of deer hunting, and then just started getting more into turkey hunting with Gage. And I mean, I've done it before with my grandfather, got a few, but going off on my own and doing it, that was really cool, great experience, and yeah.
Does your family hunt besides your
Oh,
grandpa? Does your dad or your brothers
yeah,
hunt?
dad's been a big hunter his whole life,
Okay, great.
and
It's
then that obviously comes. I mean, all that comes down onto my brothers too. I mean, they kind of get into it, and that's how I think it happens for most people's. They got a father figure or a lady figure in their life,
Yeah.
and
You never know.
you never know. But
2026.
yep, and they just kind of take them out, and then you're going in the woods, you're learning, and I think that's just a big part of being a man, being able to go out and experience nature in our like almost primal instincts. Like we've hunted forever, for thousands of years, so it's really cool to go out and do that, and then get an animal, eat it.
So another backstory with wrestling. I keep wrestling in the thread because of the loss of Mike. Wilderness whitetails. Um, Everybody always thinks you go on a ranch, I mean, anybody, and if you're honest, you could book a hunt with Canadian whitetails. You can book a lot of guided hunts, and I got to pay a lot of respects to their facility and what they've done over the years. Some other ranches that we've had some losses, not only in our family with a rancher, um, but there's could be some new adventures out there. And but the biggest thing is, besides like with us promoting the veterans, is filling the freezer. And
Yep.
you had just mentioned that. And we have a gentleman that wants to help some veterans this year, or youth. And he's talked about, people always say that, when you have your deer processed, if they take the poison gland out, which is the tenderloins, if they're missing, and he wants to cut those up. And if you've ever harvested a deer and you cut that up with a little, some butter and some
Yeah.
onions and mushrooms, and just knowing how to do that. And but that's just something that we want to be good stewards of the woods, and the fact that there's so many overpopulated areas
Yeah.
that it's okay to go out there. It's nice to, you got some bucks hanging here, and I'm chasing a buck. I've been chasing a buck for 3 years now. But if that happens, great. But it's also to put meat in the freezer. I've been other places like Custom Meats. Been going there. It's been over 28 years, and because it's just close to where my hunting property is,
Hmm.
one of them. And some people don't want to give up their venison. We had a guy fix our gutters, came out and gave him a pack of sticks.
Yeah.
Another guy, we at the altar, we went out and dropped off some brats,
Hmm.
dropped off venison sticks, and they're like, "Why are you doing this?" And I said, "Because I can. I'm not going to do it for everybody,
Hmm.
Yeah.
but it means a lot when you're given to give something that you've worked hard for."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great to share that too.
Can't
Well,
always do it. Can't do it all the time.
Yeah.
No.
But when you get somebody who also understands what it is that they're getting, it's like,
Huh.
that's some good stuff.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, we want to definitely have you guys come along. You guys know who Charlie Wanty is.
Yep.
He came on a hunt with us, and I learned what a drone is, and I learned some different, facets of, in interviews. And but when we talk about the hunt and when we go to deer camp with our hunters, and I'm talking about where we've gone, and we'll continue. There's people out there that don't promote, because we got the CWD out there. There's the game farms, but when people got into deer ranches, it was an opportunity for economic support for their family.
Yeah.
And but when we go to these places, I tell people, take the focus off of uh, just looking at these little tidbit things and the joy that we're going to put, with helping this hunter.
Yeah.
And I'm not always able to go on a hunt. I had to sit back in the cabin with everybody else because all of a sudden we gave this hunter, it was a special ed teacher for Leo and another gentleman. We gave his daughter the camera. The daughter got to video her dad,
That would, yeah.
or
Yeah.
the grandpa got to video his grandson, or in a situation, Andy, being in the Army, videoed a Marine out in the woods, in the stand, and the Marine goes, "Contact," and he didn't take it off safety, and it went click, and it was on the video. So when you get to see that when they come back,
Yeah.
but just seeing their face and we reassure them it's not about the horns.
Yep.
But it does cost a little bit. But at the end of the day, we can keep inspiring people to get in the woods.
That's what it's about. So I heard you say drone, and then I see that you've got a dogs pamphlet on here. What is that all about there? What do you got going on with that?
So a couple different things. There's canine dogs for veterans. This is dogs to dogs tag. Don't know a lot, but there are a lot of organizations that are helping our veterans. And if you've ever watched a service dog or somebody work with, they're working with their uh, owner. And in that sense, they're basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're almost a physician
Yeah.
for that individual. And I've been around it. I'm learning more. But then I also know in the hunting world, there's dogs out there that can help you retrieve your
Animal.
Yep, retrieve your animal. But yeah, the
Man's best friend.
watching, yeah.
Truly is.
So that's pretty extraordinary. Big thing that's going to happen prior to guns or the gun season or the bow season is bear hunting.
Yeah.
And we had a gentleman call about having a bear tag, and I connected with Andy, connected with the person transferring the tag. We don't do the baiting, but they're going to work with some people that we know, and they're in search and passing on to a veteran. And I think it's Harry from Hog Creek is donating his property and his land, and
Is he?
yeah, it's going to
That's
be
great.
Which is he doing the one around here, his property, or
up north,
further up north?
wherever that is, and I'll know more. I don't know.
Dude,
where
that's
it's at.
cool. So we have one of the guys in our group, Colin. You had met him at some show a while back. He remembers meeting you one time, but he was talking with one of his old high school teachers, and his teacher has like 20 points, but he doesn't 20 bear points, but he doesn't hunt anymore, and he's looking for ways to donate them or transfer them over to somebody. So how does all that work? Because that's I know that happened with Cole.
Yep.
But I'm wondering how that all works. How does that?
So if you have, and people have to realize, Zone C, you can get a tag almost every other year.
Yeah.
But Zone B and A, you have to wait 15 to 18 years. Some people say it's less. It's a lottery.
That's a lifetime.
Yeah.
And the disabled transfer tag or a Purple Heart, it's a one-time thing.
Yeah.
One-time transfer, which we've been debating that, and we've been to Madison, and we've been talking that I think if you get a transfer tag, you should be allowed to go until you get a harvest.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of transfer tags. There's tags out there. I know there's groups out there. There's Oconto kids that work with DNR, but you take your tag. I get it. You do not want to say, I want the if you get the kill tag instead of the preference points.
Yep.
Once you get it, talk to somebody before you even do that.
Yeah.
So talk to somebody before December 10th. So say I'm going to transfer it to Rafe's brother, and they're either under 18 or they have a challenge of a class A, B, or C. Now somebody goes, well, how do I get a class A, B, or C? Well, you have to get your information from the DNR website, take it to your doctor.
Yeah.
And class A is if you're we're injured and paralyzed or permanently were born in that situation. You have, I think there's one where it's temporary. And I think one it could be sight, and if you can walk. But once you get that, have a good outfit, have people that know how to provide those opportunities. And then that's what, when we were talking with Cole and he had
Yeah.
that opportunity to go, because I was sitting with him when he
When he
shot
it.
at one, and then it rained, and then a lot of other things happened. But then I think he was with your dad.
Yep.
And he had another encounter, and then
Yep.
later I think he ended up getting a bear.
Right there.
Okay, and then he got his bear.
Yep.
I don't know where he got the. When did he?
They were running dogs.
Oh, they were running dogs, and that's
Yep.
another world, running
Yep.
dogs.
Another one of running dogs.
Wow.
But yeah, that one. Well, how did you stumble across getting him on that one? I just remember him and Ethan were both super excited when they got their 2 hunts.
So that situation occurred because we were in the pre or COVID stage.
Yep.
And then the gentleman up north says, hey, Joe, do you have? And I don't know if was that the year I had my tag. One year I had my tag and I went and I actually videoed myself shooting one with the bow.
Yeah.
Self videoing. And then I don't know if that was that year, but then I remember they said, hey, do you have anybody else that would want to come in and hunt? And then I just made a comment. I said, could Cole come?
Mhm.
Hey, could this other person come along, because we want to fill these tags.
Yeah.
So
That's sweet. Well, Joe, I think we're gonna wrap her up.
I think that what you're doing is very great. It was great having you on, explaining what you're doing for people who can't go out and hunt. So we want to thank you.
Yeah, we greatly appreciate what you do for these people, and I don't think that can be said enough. I'm hoping anybody who listens takes time, checks out Empowered Dream Hunts, stops by, says hello at a booth or something somewhere. But with that, you can shout out any of the stuff you guys got going on quick. Tell it to the camera, be like, hey, show up to this, come donate some money. So whatever you got going on, if you want to tell it to the camera, let people know.
So I'd like to say for you guys out there, what's epic in our country is the 4th of July. And I'll be at the Mosinee 4th of July parade. I'll run through with our trailer, and then I'll put a booth up down underneath, and I'll have our sign up list for our golf outing, raffle tickets. And but if you just want to chat, I'll be around. And a little teaser out there is that I'm going to look for one or two individuals to get them back on the mat. See if I can give back in that area. But look forward to sharing with you more maybe after the 4th of July.
Very nice.
Great.
But with that, keep it mediocre out there. We'll catch you in the next one.